Do we have any special requests for today's practice? Nothing particular? How about you, Kenny? Hips?
These are always, here, they feel all happily, so they're always tight.
Tight. All right. Let's start laying on our back then, and let's do a little hip stretch to open up. So let the soles of your feet come together, let your knees fall open. Let your arms come down on a 45-degree angle, palms facing up to the ceiling. And just tuck the chin, create length at the back of the neck. Let your body be heavy. Let gravity just start to pull you down. And as you start to breathe in and out through the nose, try to maintain closed lips and a relaxed jaw so you're breathing in and out through the nose. And just work on slowing your breathing down as much as you possibly can without straining in any way. So if your inhale would typically be 2 or 3 seconds, see if you can lengthen it a little bit more than that. If you can typically bring it up to 4 or 5, see if you can maybe get to 6. And then strive to make the length of your exhale the exact same. So you've just got a smooth, fluid flow of air passing in and out through the nose, but swirling ever so gently at the back of your throat. Take another deep breath in, and on your exhale, just allow your head to turn very slowly to the right. Inhale, bring it back through center. And then allow your head to turn all the way to the left as you exhale. So it's really slow movement. Inhale, head comes back in. Exhale, turn it to the right. Inhale to center. And exhale, let the head turn to the left. And then on your inhale, just come through center. Let your knees come together. Let the soles of the feet plant on the mat. Walk your heels towards you. Draw your knees into your chest. Reach for the knees with the hands. And now rock the whole body side to side. And this includes the head. So you're rolling from hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear. And as you roll back to center, set your feet down on the ground. Try to bring your heels as close to the body as possible, planting your feet at a hip distance width. Bringing your arms tight to the sides, palms pressing down, fingers spread wide. Now tuck the tailbone, slight tuck to the chin. Inhale, lift the hips up into bridge pose. So try not to widen the knees any wider than those hips. Knees right over ankle, press into your elbows. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades now a little bit closer together. Puffing up the chest a bit, pushing it towards the chin. Press down through the length of both arms, really root into your palms, your feet. Press down through the back of the head and inhale, rise to the toes. Exhale, lower your upper back, mid back, low back. Let your heels touch down. Slide your arms to a T. Walk your feet as wide as your mat is, and let both knees fall to the right. Inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, let both knees fall to the left. Inhale, the knees up, and now knees right, head left this time. Inhale, center. Legs to the left, head to the right, inhaling to come up. Let your knees fall to the right. Let your head turn to the left and pause. Turn your palms up to face the ceiling. Try to keep both shoulders heavy on the ground. And just breathe here. Gravity pulling that left knee down towards the ground. Opening up the front of the hip now, down the side of the leg. With your next inhalation, let your head and your knees come up, and then change sides as you exhale. Legs fall to the left, head turns to the right, and breathe. Breathe as slowly as you can, as deeply as you can. On your next inhale, let your head and your knees come up. Walk your feet together. Draw your knees into your chest. Reach for the knees with the hands. And one more time, just rock from side to side. Good. Rolling over onto your right side, pressing yourself up to a seated position. Take a moment to find a comfortable seat. Stacking the shoulders over the hips and the ears over the shoulders. Hands can rest on the knees or on the thighs. Give a little squeeze between the shoulder blades and pull the chin towards the throat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your right ear just melt over toward your right shoulder. Allow the left side of the neck to gently stretch out. Breathing into any tension there, any tightness there. Use your exhales to let it go. And then on your next inhalation, let your head come up slowly, and then use your exhale to bring the left ear over toward the left shoulder. So you're always moving with your breath. And now we open up the right side of the neck. Inhaling, the head comes up, and as you exhale, begin to tip the face up towards the ceiling. You might find you need to open the mouth to keep the jaw relaxed. Try to continue to breathe through just the nose. Inhaling, and the head comes up slowly. As you exhale, let your chin just melt down and toward the chest. Let's clasp the hands, place the hands gently on the back of the head, and start to relax the arms, using the weight of them to deepen the stretch. Not pulling, not forcing, just simply breathing and relaxing here. Inhale, lift the head, keep your hands where they are, and let your head fall back into your hands. And feel the stretch in the armpits and across the chest, perhaps. Breathe deeply, breathe slowly. Control the flow of air. It's the most important part of your practice. Inhale, bring your head back up, and as you exhale, extend your arms up towards the ceiling above you. Turn your palms to face one another and pull the shoulders down. Take a deep breath in, stretch a little taller. As you exhale, twist to the right, plant the right hand behind you, left hand reaching for the right knee as you look over that right shoulder. Try not to lean. Try to keep that spine really straight. Crown towards the ceiling, tailbone melting to the earth. Take another inhale, sit even taller. As you exhale, twist to your furthest place, and then inhale, come back to center, arms float up. Exhale, and we twist to the left hand behind the back, right hand reaches for the left knee, turning chest and head and eyes to the left. Keep both shoulders relaxed and down. Neck long. Take another deep breath in, grow to your tallest, and then exhale, twist to that furthest place. Inhale to center, arms reach up. Pull the shoulders down, away from the ears, and take one more inhale. Really extend through the fingers, palms turn out, and we slowly circle the arms down. Let's make our way into table pose. So come to stand on the hands and the knees. If you need a little padding for the knees, take whatever you need to place there. Shoulders over wrists. Hips or sitting bones, depending on what feels more comfortable for you, should be right over top of the knees. Shins are parallel, fingers are gripping, and now we inhale, tip the tailbone, lifting the chin, open the throat, look up. Exhale, draw the tailbone down, tuck the chin, and round out your back. Inhaling to come back into cow, make that U shape with the spine. And exhale to round it out, coming all the way up into cat. And just do a few rounds, moving at the measure of your breath. Maybe you can even close your eyes. Try to go as slow as your breath will let you. And one more inhale and exhale. And once you're done, that exhale, let your big toes touch. Let your hips fall back towards your heels. Take your knees nice and wide and melt into a wide-legged child's pose. And just breathe here. Open up those hips a little bit more. How wide can those knees get? How much can you sink the hips towards the heels? And with your hands now on either side of your head, push into your palms, nice and slow, straighten the arms, bring your knees back into hip distance, and come back up into your table pose. So let's slide the hands forward an inch or two, tuck the toes, look towards your knees, and start to lift your knees off the ground. Come high up on the toes, pushing the chest back, looking at the feet. Toes are pointing straight ahead. Start to press the heels down towards the ground. Let's inhale again, up on the toes, hips lift up, chest presses back, and we lower the heels down slowly. One more time, inhale, onto the balls of the feet, hips high, chest presses back, and let the heels melt down. And then just sway the hips a bit from side to side. And then let your hips come back to center. Fingers are still gripping, pushing the floor away through those hands. We inhale onto the toes. Bend the knees a bit as you look forward and start to walk your feet to your hands. And once your feet are right there, place your hands on your shins and straighten your arms. Lean a bit of weight into the toes and gaze out in front of you. Hold here. Give a little squeeze between the shoulder blades and take another deep breath in. As you exhale, walk those hands down. Chest down, chin, nose, then forehead, draw in. Hold and breathe. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Beautiful. Gazing down to the ground, to your feet. Let's take a big step back with the left foot and lower to the left knee as we untuck the toes. Slide that left leg back as far as it'll go. Make sure that your right foot and your left knee are at a hip distance stance and start to melt your hips down towards the ground as you lift the chest and the chin and expose the throat. Maybe that left leg can go a little bit further back. Keep sinking through those hips. Keep those left toes pointing straight back behind you. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, look down and bring your right hand to the inside edge of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the right. And then bring your hands back to a shoulder distance width. So we want to hug that right leg in towards that right arm. Make sure your right toes point straight forward, not out to the right. And inhale, look out in front of you. As you exhale, start to melt to your palms. Start to bend both your elbows at the same time, lowering your chest towards the ground, letting your head just hang and be heavy. Keep rolling the weight to that inner right foot. Keep sinking those hips down. Now with your next in-breath, come back up slowly to the palms, straightening the arms. Turn your right foot out on a 45-degree angle. You're going to roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, almost like you were on the edge of a knife or a skate blade, and then flex the foot a little bit to protect the ankle joint. Bring your left hand into center in between the two palms, and bring your right hand to the inside of that right knee. So we're trying to melt our hips down. So rather than bringing your hips back over top of your left knee, try to let your hips sink towards that left hand. Look over that right shoulder, twisting that chest a little bit to the right. Keep flexing your right foot and spreading your toes. Take another inhale, twist just a little deeper, and as you exhale, look down to your left hand as you release your right hand to the ground. Bring your left hand back out to the left. Plant your right foot as you curl your left toes under. So you're going to pick up your left knee, pick up your right foot, step it back to meet the left, and you're in downward facing dog. Hips to the ceiling, heels melting to the earth. Press through those palms. Lengthen your arms. Good, let's inhale, rise onto the toes, soften the knees as you look forward, and let your feet come forward to your hands. We're going to inhale to that flat back, gazing out in front, and exhale, fold over the legs. Hold here 2 breaths. Full inhale. Complete exhale. And now inhale, take a big step back with your right foot. Lower to your knee and untuck your toes. Walk your left foot closer to your left hand. Slide that right leg back as far as it'll go. Lifting the chest, lifting the chin, opening the throat, sinking those hips down towards the ground. Pressing the floor away from you through those fingerprints. Focus the eyes. Feel those hips slowly starting to open up. Take one more inhale. Exhale, look down. Bring your left hand to the inside edge of your left foot and walk your left foot over to where your left hand just was. And then bringing that left hand back out to the left, our hands are now back to a shoulder distance width. Keep your left big toe turned in a little bit. Maybe that right knee can slide a little further back. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to melt to the palms. Beginning to bend both the elbows at the same time, lowering your shoulders towards the ground. When you can't go any further, just let your head hang. Keep pressing into that left big toe and that inner left heel. Just let the head go. Melt your hips down towards the ground. Maybe that right leg can slide a little further back. Feeling it very intently through that left hip, left buttock. Take another inhale and full exhale. And then inhale, start to lift the head, slowly straightening the arms as you come up to your palms. Now it's the left foot that's going to turn out 45 degrees. Still trying to keep your knee over your ankle. Start to roll onto the outside edge of the left foot. Your hips are still melting towards the floor. Right hand to center now. Left hand to the inside edge of that left knee or thigh. Keep flexing your left foot as you look over that left shoulder back behind you and continue to sink your hips down towards the ground. Pressing the floor away from you through that right hand. Take one more inhale, twist just a little deeper, and as you exhale, look down to the right hand, release the left hand to the ground. Widen your hands back to shoulder distance as you plant your left foot again. Curl the right toes under, pick up the knee, and now left foot steps back, hips up, chest back, And we're back in downward dog. Press those heels down, push the chest back. Good, walk your hands towards your feet. Nice and slow. You might eventually shift to the fingerprints. Let all the weight now settle back into the feet, into the legs. Let your arms just dangle. And if you have the urge to reach for something, you can reach for the opposite elbow if you'd like with your fingers, just letting your whole upper body dangle. Gravity pulling you down. Give a gentle tug on the elbows if you're holding them, as though you could pull your elbows towards that floor below. Take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, release those hands to the earth. Open them to shoulder distance. So if you need to, bend the elbows. So you're standing at the back of your mat. You're going to start to walk your hands to the front of your mat. Checking to make sure that your hands are in the correct position for your downward dog before relaxing your head and pushing the chest back. Now we inhale onto the toes, soft knees look forward, and this time we walk the feet to the hands. Nice and slow. Coming all the way up. Inhaling to look out in front of you, lengthening your spine. Take a grip on your calves or your ankles now and start to pull yourself down. Tucking in the chin, lengthening the back of the neck. Good, releasing the grip. Make sure your feet are together, your big toes are touching. There's a little space between the heels. Bend your knees and sit right down onto your heels as you come up onto your tiptoes. So we're gonna walk those hands back a little bit, lifting the torso up. Maybe you're just on the tips of your first two fingers. Maybe you don't even need the fingers. The shoulders can come right back over the hips as the hands rest on the thighs, or even come to the heart. Balanced on those toes, focus your eyes. Use the hands if you need them. Find your edge here today. Take another full inhale, and if the hands have left the floor, release them back down to the ground. Start to lower your heels down as you straighten the legs and fold over those legs. Good, let's step back to the top of a push-up. Remembering you can do your plank from the toes or from the knees, listening to your body here. Keep the tail tucked and the belly lifted. Grip with your fingers, push the floor away from you. So it's very important that when you're lowering to the ground, your shoulders are moving at the same time as your hips. And if you can't do that from the toes, do it from the knees. Look forward as you inhale. On your exhale, lower slowly. Inhale, curl to cobra. Try to use your back muscles, not the strength of the arms here. So heavily pressing into the tops of the feet. Drag the heart forward as you give a little squeeze between those shoulder blades. Push into your palms. Inhale, come up a little higher. Tuck the toes. Transition up and back to your downward dog. Hips high. Push the chest back. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your knees and untuck your toes. Coming into a table position, Lifting through the low belly. On an inhale, send your right leg back and your left arm forward for a spinal balance. Don't move the right hand before you lift the left arm. So you want to keep that hand directly under the shoulder. Push out through the heel and extend forward through those fingers. Take another inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, lower the hand and the knee. And then inhale, left leg and right arm lift. Try not to move the left hand closer to center. Keep the shoulder right over the wrist. Keep gripping the floor with those fingers. Take another inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, lower the hand and the knee. And now we move with breath. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, release the limbs. Inhale, left leg and right arm reach. Exhale, slowly lower. And continue moving back and forth with your breath. Try to keep the spine long. Keep your eyes focused. Let's do one more with the right leg and left arm, and one more with the left leg and the right arm. And when you're done, let your big toes touch. Sit your hips back onto the heels. Keep your knees at a hip distance stance, so don't move your knees wider. So 2 fists would fit in between your knees. Let your hips come down first, then let your chest come towards your thighs. Then the head comes down. Maybe your hands are supporting the head. Maybe the head is resting on the mat and the arms slide back alongside you. Work to your place of comfortable discomfort. And just start to move the hips and the upper body a little bit, side to side, massaging right at the front of those hips, through the hip flexor. And let yourself come back to center. Moving from extension into flexion, just allowing for a gentle rounding of the back. Reach your hands forward. Pull yourself up to your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes under. Take it back to downward dog. Hips to the ceiling, heels pressing down to the mat, armpits towards the ankles. Plant your left foot on a 45-degree angle and take one big stride forward with your right foot. Don't lift your left heel. So we want to inhale now, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Bringing the shoulders back over the hips. Try to point your hips straight ahead as you bend deeply into that right knee. Left foot's already on the 45, allowing that left hip to come forward and the right hip to come back. And now straighten your right leg. Circle the arms down, bring your hands to your hips. If your hips aren't pointing completely straight ahead, shorten your stance a little bit. So your feet are at a hip distance width. We're gonna inhale, lift through the crown. As you exhale, start to hinge from your hips and fold over those legs. Making sure your hips stay level and even with one another. Your hands can slide to your shin, to your ankle, or to either side of the foot. As you relax your head and look at your left big toe. Don't bend the knees to get your hands to the ground. Try to pull that right hip back. Try to draw that left hip forward. Try to slow your breathing right down. Inhale, look forward and lengthen. Put a bend into your right knee so you can plant your hands in front of your right foot and just step back into a downward facing dog position. Plant your right foot on a 45 and take a big step forward with your left foot now. And when you're ready, take it up into your warrior one, your Virabhadrasana. So the right hip is coming forward this time, the left hip is coming back, your left knee is over your left ankle, and the chin is lifted, the throat is open. Little downward tuck to the tailbone.
Let the shoulders relax and melt down away from the ears. Good. As you inhale, straighten your left leg, turn your palms out, circle the arms down, hands to the hips. If your hips aren't completely square, shorten your stance. So you want your hips pointing straight ahead now. Inhaling to lift through the crown, exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. So your hands are on your hips. You're ensuring that they stay level with one another. The hands can slide down the leg, maybe to the shin, maybe to the ankle, maybe to the floor. As you relax your head, look at your right big toe. Left hip coming back, right hip coming forward. Try to keep those hips level. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, bend the left knee, planting your hands in front of your left foot. Step back into a downward facing dog. And when you're ready, inhale onto the toes, bend the knees and look forward and come through to a seated position. Extending those legs out. Removing the flesh from underneath those sitting bones, pulling your left knee into your chest. So when you can't pull your heel any closer to you, just let your knee fall out to the side and push your left foot and your right leg together. Keep those right toes pointing straight up. Inhale, lift both arms up. And as you exhale, melt your heart in the direction of that right foot. Take a gentle grip, whatever part of your leg or foot you can reach. Try to avoid the heel. Push out through the heel, toes pull back, drag the heart a little further, and then relax your head down. Level your shoulders out and close your eyes. Keep pushing your left foot into your right leg and keep pulling your right toes back towards you. Good. As you inhale, look forward, and as you exhale, reach forward. We inhale, rise, palms open, and circle the arms down. Bend your right leg and bring your right heel back towards your right hip. Let your legs open nice and wide here, so bring the knees really far apart. So the left foot stayed bent just as it was, or the left knee, I should say. Take your left hand now to your left knee, kind of just above the knee, and take your right hand to your left foot. See if you can pull that foot up away from the floor. Flex your foot so you're not just tugging on the ankle joint, so keep your foot in a slightly flexed state and pull that foot up as high as it'll go. So you want your hand more up on your thigh, John? Yeah, because we're trying to actually pull the lower part of the leg away from the floor. Take another inhale, bring the foot up. Exhale, lower. Inhale it up. Exhale, lower. Inhale it up. Exhale, lower. Inhale it up. Hold. Keep flexing the foot. Take another deep breath in. And release the foot down. Release the right leg out and bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your feet in towards you. Let your knees melt down. Holding onto your feet or your ankles or your shins, start to flutter your knees in butterflies. So we start with tiny little bouncing movements that get a little bigger and bigger and bigger. How much movement can you get into those legs? Good. Start to make it a little smaller. Smaller. Back to those tiny little flutters with the knees, and then bring the legs to stillness and inhale, lift through the crown. Start to move the heart in the direction of the top of your mat. When your chest can't go any further, relax your head. Let your eyes close and just breathe. In through the nose and out through the nose. Good. Inhale, slowly rise. Exhale, hands to the outsides of the knees. Inhale, bring the knees up. Wrap the arms around the legs, squeeze them in tight, and bow the chin toward the chest. Good. Inhaling to lift the chin. As you exhale, hold on to the backs of the thighs as you point your toes, and then float those feet up. How high can you lift them? Can you extend the arms as well? If you need that little support, keep the hands supporting the legs. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, lower your feet down, extend your legs out. Keeping your left leg extended, draw your right knee into your chest. So when you can't get your heel to come in any closer, just allow that knee to fall out to the side. Push your foot to your leg and your leg to your foot. Toes point straight up. Inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, move the heart in the direction of the foot. Take a little grip, whatever you can reach. Push the heel away, pull the belly in, drag the heart to its furthest, and then relax the head. Level your shoulders out and close your eyes. And just breathe here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling to lift the chin. Exhaling to extend and reach the arms. And inhale, we rise, stretching as we come up, palms out, circle the arms down. So keep your right leg where it is. Bend your left leg, drawing the heel towards the buttock as you slide the knee back. Take your knees as wide apart as they'll go. Now take your right hand, rest it on your right thigh above the knee. Reach for your right foot with your left hand. And now flex your foot a little bit. So you want to hold on to the front foot, John, with your left hand. And keep your right hand on your thigh to keep pressing it down. So on the inhale, you're going to lift that foot up away from the floor. Keep the foot a little bit flexed so you're not yanking from that ankle joint. Just trying to get some movement in that knee. Take a deep breath in, lift a little higher. Exhale, let it come down. Inhale, let it come up. Exhaling down. Inhale it up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift it up. Hold it up. Keep flexing that foot. Trying to keep the right thigh down, just lifting that right shin. Take one more inhale and release the foot down. Let your left leg come around. Let the soles of the feet come together, but slide the feet away from you about the length of your own torso. So really far away. And then give a little squeeze between the blades as you lift through the crown. Start to move your heart in the direction of the feet. And then maybe your hands slide to the shins, maybe to the ankles, maybe they wrap around the toes, maybe they even slide under the legs if the elbows are on the ground. If the elbows aren't on the ground, keep the arms up. Pull your heart towards your feet, relax the head down, close your eyes, and just breathe. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Good. Inhale, lift the chin. If the arms are under the legs, exhale, release them, and then we inhale, come all the way up. Let's bring the knees up. Let's squeeze those knees into the chest. Take a grip on the back of the thighs again. Lift those legs up into boat one last time. Maybe you can lift the arms as well. Give that squeeze between the blades. Make sure you can breathe. Otherwise, just keep holding the legs. We're really trying to strengthen the core here. Take one more deep breath in. Lift those toes a little higher. Exhale, plant the feet. If you have any lift underneath you, remove it. We're going to lie down onto the back, slowly rolling down. Letting the shoulders come down as the arms reach over the head, straightening out the legs as you point your toes. Inhale, stretch the right side of the body. Right fingers back, right toes forward and relax. Left side stretch and relax. Both sides together. Inhale, stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, arms come down to the sides, knees come into the chest. Hug them in. And just rock a little bit from side to side. Roll back to center. Option 1, arms at the sides, legs up in the air. Option 2, arms and legs up in the air. Option 3, shoulder stand. Find your edge. If you're coming up into shoulder stand, do not turn your head. Make sure your hands support your low back, pinky fingers on either side of your spine as the legs come up. Make sure you can breathe, otherwise it's no longer yoga. You're pushing past your place of comfortable discomfort. Just allowing for drainage of blood, drainage of fluid. Gravity pulling it back towards the heart working a little harder to pump blood up to the feet, maybe even up to the hands if the arms and legs are up in the air. Slow and steady breath. If you want a bit of a hip opener in shoulder stand, you can come into Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together, heels directly over the perineum as you open the knees out to the sides. If you really want to challenge yourself in Baddha Konasana, you can reach your hands up to your thighs, just above the knees, and try to balance on the shoulders. The legs are going to need to kind of come over the face a little bit. Hands back to support the low back, legs back up to the ceiling, and then legs over the face for Halasana, plow pose. If you're in arms and legs up in the air, you can try and go to a wide-legged pose and bring your hands to your inner thighs to open those legs a little wider. If you're in plow, legs over the face, plant your palms on the ground and start to roll your upper back down to the floor. And then start to lower your mid-back. Try not to lift your head. Bring your low back down to the ground, and we're all going to meet in the same position. So if you went legs wide, bring the legs together, arms like railings right down beside you. Push your heels up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to lower your legs, pushing your heels forward as those legs descend. Once the heels touch, arms are hugging your sides, legs are straight. Fan out your toes. Inhale, lift the head. Press into your elbows, lift the shoulders, puff up the chest, and then relax the head all the way back and lower yourself down until you make light contact with the floor, with the top of your head. Push into your elbows and your forearms so you're not putting weight in the neck. Use the strength of the arms and lift that heart. Keep spreading your toes. Take another full inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift the head to lower the back. Let the head relax. Walk the feet towards you. Draw your knees loosely into your chest and rock from side to side and massage your back. Bringing your body back to center and your arms to a T, palms down to the ground, hands a little lower than the shoulders. Flex your feet and bring your heels up a little bit so your shins are parallel to the ground. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your legs to the right and hover them as you turn your head to the left. Push into both palms and both shoulders. Squeeze your knees and your ankles together. Inhale, head and knees come through center, and we change sides on the exhale. Don't let the knees separate. Squeeze those knees together. Press into both shoulders and both palms. Inhale to come up. And now we move legs to the right, head to the left. Inhale to come up. And switch. Inhale to center. And knees to the right, head to the left. This time, let your feet touch down. Let your palms turn up. Let your eyes close. And try to relax for a few breaths before you move any further, before you change anything with the body. Give it time to acclimatize, time to adjust. So the left ear is turned down towards the ground. The chin has come all the way over towards that left shoulder. Can your knees maybe come a little closer to your right arm without lifting your left shoulder off the ground? If it's going to lift, keep the legs where they are. Maybe you want to add a little bit of weight, reaching your right hand for your left hip, sliding your hand down the side of the leg towards the knee, and eventually allowing that hand to add a bit of weight. But don't let your left shoulder lift off the ground. Really breathing into that left lung, so open, so exposed. Take another full inhale, and as you exhale, release the right arm, plant both palms, flex the feet. Inhale, head and knees come up slowly. Change sides as you exhale, and before your right shoulder lifts, let your feet touch down. Turn your palms up. Chin has come all the way over towards that right shoulder, and the right ear is turning down towards the ground. Just breathe here. And relax. And soften. Giving the body time to adjust. Maybe the knees now can come a little closer to the left arm without the right shoulder lifting. Maybe you want the weight of that left hand reaching for the right hip, sliding the hand down the leg towards the knee, adding the weight to deepen the stretch, but the right shoulder never lifted away from the ground. We breathe into the right lung, so very open and exposed right now. Fill it up with oxygen every time you breathe in. Release the toxins every time you breathe out. Taking one last deep inhale here, and as you exhale, the left arm comes down and we plant the palms, flex the feet. Inhale, head and knees come up. Reach for your knees with your hands. Take them really wide and rock side to side. And now we roll back to center, keeping those knees really wide. Really dig your tailbone into the floor. Reach down towards your ankles with your hands. And then point the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling as you bring your ankles out to that width of your knees. Maybe you can grab a little higher to the big toes. Maybe you need to grab the shins instead. Try to bring those ankles right on top of those knees so the soles of the feet point up. Keep the tailbone on the ground, and now we use the strength of the arms. Shoulders stay down. We pull the knees gently down in our happy baby. Keep the back of the neck long. Keep pressing the tailbone and rock just a little bit, side to side. We're using our core muscles to control this movement. Rock back to center. Bring the heels together. Bring the soles of the feet together. And now lift your head up off the ground. Reach up for the outer edges of your feet and interlace your fingers there. Now pull your heels up away from the floor without lifting the tailbone and start to pull yourself through the legs. Pull the low belly towards the spine. Imagine you could pull yourself right through those legs. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Maintain that breath. Take one more inhale, really squeeze. Exhale, lower your head, release your hands to your knees, bring your knees together, squeeze your knees into your chest. And now inhale, bring your forehead or your chin up towards the knees. Wrap the arms even more tightly around the legs. Start to engage every muscle of the body, right from the toes to the tip of the nose, the top of the head. One more inhale, hold the breath, squeeze, 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 and release. Set your head and your feet down. Let the soles of the feet come together. Let your knees open out to the sides. Bring your arms into cactus this time. Elbows are up at the height of the shoulders. Fingers pointing straight back behind you. If the hands are really pulling away from the floor, take your hands a little wider until you feel the backs of the hands connect again. Close the eyes, keep the chin tucked. Maybe those knees feel a little closer to the ground. You've opened those hips up a little bit more. We're just here for a few slow, deep breaths. Try to keep that breath steady, controlled. Try to stay focused on the breath, letting go of the thoughts that come up, trying to distract you from the task at hand. Feeling that stretch across the chest, through the armpits. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, let your head turn slowly to the right. Inhale, bring the head up through center, and then exhale it all the way to the left. We'll do that one more time. Inhale to center and to the right. Inhaling to come up. Exhaling to the left. Inhale to center. Take your hands, interlace them. Slip your hands underneath your head, and then let your elbows come away from the floor, and let your forearms just kind of hug in towards the sides of the head. And then let your head be very heavy in the hands, and using the strength of the arms rather than your neck muscles, inhale, pick your head up off the ground, and try to bring your chin toward your chest. Stretching out the back of the neck. Make sure it's your hands and your arms doing the work. Really try to relax your neck. Take another inhale. Can you pull that chin up, up, up? Exhale, start to lower your head down just before it touches. Slide the hands out. Reach your hands for your knees. Let your knees come together. If you have any extra clothing you'd like to put on, you can do so now. If you're good as you are, take your heels to the corners of your mat. Take your arms down on the same diagonal line as you lift the upper back. Tuck the shoulder blades, tuck the chin. Close your eyes. Try to let your feet just completely relax and fall out to the sides. Start to relax your throat. So let go of that engagement at the glottis. Let your breath become soft and quiet. Noticing the flow of air without controlling the flow of air.
Noticing the flow of your thoughts without becoming attached to any one thought in particular. You're aware of your body, but you're not attached to sensations that you experience there. Try to just simply be. Be in this moment. Remain awake and alert, but try to detach yourself from everything and just go inwards, sinking deeper and deeper into the calm quiet of the mind. Allow yourself to take rest and relax and let go. Relax. Relax. Begin to notice all the different sounds that you can hear around you. Maybe sounds from the street, sounds from the heat coming into the room,
Start to deepen your breath and notice the sound associated with your breathing. And then begin to move your fingers and your toes and notice if there's any sound to that. Moving hands and feet, wrists and ankles, and then allow your head to just start to roll from side to side. Noticing the sound of the head as it just rolls across the mat. And then bring your head to center. Let your legs come together as you point your toes and reach your arms all the way back behind you. Take a long, deep breath in. Stretch the body out, lengthen, reach, extend, and relax the arms down. Draw your knees into your chest. Hug them in and just rock from side to side. Last little massage for the back before we roll over now onto the right side and pause and breathe and notice and just be. Be thankful for this practice. Be thankful for your body and its ability to be here. Be thankful to those who came to join you in the space. Just be thankful. Practice gratitude. As you press into your left palm and your right elbow with the eyes still closed, make your way up to a seated position. Your hands come together at your heart as you lift through the crown of the head. And then let your chin bow toward your chest. Let yourself hinge from your hips, forehead towards the floor. Hands can come down as a means of support. And just take a moment here. The divine light within me graciously, humbly acknowledges the same divine light within you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, everybody. You're very welcome.